You got excited about it and encouraged me. I decided to go for the gusto. Bobby Tanner, or Graham, sorry, Bobby, where's Bobby? Bobby, right here on the front row, was very, very encouraging, and we chatted with Trace, and he was very, very encouraging. And so we just decided to do it. And so I'm excited that you guys all made the effort to come. And I don't want to sound cheesy saying this, but I do feel like Grandpa Sears would be very pleased to know that you took time to be here. And Grandma. You don't want to forget her either. But, so basically, what we're going to do is just spend a few minutes getting to know a little bit more about Grandpa Sears, as well as getting to know a little bit more about the Samoan culture. And he loved the Samoan culture so much that I think he would love it if we became a little more familiar with the culture. So what I have planned here, I'll just tell you in order. We're going to start with my Aunt Karen. Karen is Theresa Wakefield's daughter. And Karen served a mission in Hawaii with her husband Steve, her companion. And where's Uncle Steve? There he is. So she's had some experiences there, and she also is going to tell you about a tape that she found as she was preparing to come to this reunion that she'd forgotten that she had, and so she's prepared a little something for us. Following Aunt Karen, we're going to have Aunt Nola. Where's Aunt Nola? She's right there in the front row. She doesn't even know where she is. She's going to take about 5 minutes sharing about her connection on both sides of her family with missionaries serving in Samoa. Then we're going to have Aunt Athelia, one of the living daughters of Grandpa Sears. She's going to take a few minutes to tell us about some of his characteristics, anything that she can remember. And then Aunt Lou, where are you? They're on the front. You're all right here, making it easy for me. And Aunt Lou will also talk. Hi McKenna, another living daughter of Grandpa Sears. So we're excited to have them. And then I prepared a few videos of a couple people, Samoan people who know Grandpa Sears and have had some experience with him, and they are sharing their experience with him. And so I felt like it was important to show that, and that's part of the reason why we were working so hard and trying to get this to work, and that's why we were a little bit delayed. So I appreciate your patience, but I hope you were able to find people to talk to while we were waiting. But so we're going to go ahead and start with Aunt Karen, and then we're just going to go in that order. So if you remember that order, that would be great. One final thing, you have a trivia game, right? So at the end of the night, I'm going to, we're going to go through the answers. How many of you actually started working on that? Okay, 5 of you, good. Heidi? So we have a bunch over here, so Holly will go get some, and why don't you raise your hand if you want one? But we'll try to be not very distracting to Aunt Karen. Okay, so, any questions? Does that sound good? Am I forgetting anything? Mom? No? By the way, my mom and dad and Sister Susie came up from Las Vegas, so we appreciate that.
Excuse me. Can she make an announcement, Suzanne Mann?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well.
Suzanne Mann is going to make an announcement. So, go right ahead. I'm trying to stall while she walks up here. And then as soon as she's done, Karen, you're on.
Well, Bobby brought some things that were purchased at the table here, and it's the honesty, louder. And then we are going to make, you turned it off, right?
No.
And then we're making, we're videotaping tonight, and we're going to make a movie slideshow with all the photographs that we can get a hold of the old ones, and then of tonight, and it's available. And so I have a binder if you want to, sign up for that. So we'll send it to you.
Suzanne, tell them how it works, that the envelopes put their address on it.
If you get one of these and put your name and address on it, and then all I have to do is put your CD in here, and then put your $4 inside here, and then I'll send it to you. Okay?
Very good idea.
Well, it is a privilege to be able to speak for Aunt Marguerite tonight, and in many ways tonight that's what I'm going to do. I don't have really too many memories of Grandpa Sears because I was so young when he passed away, but I have one, and it's been warm in my heart ever since. It was Easter time, I guess, and we had colored eggs, and we were at the park, and we were rolling them down a little hill. And I didn't understand the principle, and I just took the eggs and was just heaving them as hard as I could. And they were, of course, were breaking at the bottom. And Grandpa Sears recognized my dilemma, came over, knelt down next to me at the top of the hill, took my hand in his, and gently showed me how to hold the egg and how to roll it down the hill. That's my one memory. A good number of years ago, I was teaching in Relief Society, and our subject for this particular class was on Samoa. And so I immediately went to Aunt Marguerite. I wrote her a letter and I said, I know you are the one that remembers really well in the family. Could you just jot down a few things about Samoa for me and send them back to me? And little did I know that she had been called in her state to prepare the lesson, teach it to all of her ward teachers, and so she had some wonderful information. So she sent me a tape. This was well over 30 years ago. And the other day, when I was just going through some things, I found this tape and sat down and said, this needs to be shared. Many of you, I don't want to say older, but the generation, not my age, will have memories of these things and know, but many here tonight won't know this information. So I am going to be reading quite a bit because these are Aunt Marguerite's words. Before I share about Samoa, just a couple of things that she said about the Sears family. The piano was always an important part of family life. Dad encouraged us to sing both as we worked and as we played. In fact, sisterly disputes were interrupted by a call from Dad in the adjoining room. Okay, girls, let's hear a song while you're washing the dishes. It didn't seem that Agnes and I were guilty of arguing that much, but we probably composed the longest medley on record. Dad's motto was, the more the merrier. Our home was always open to our friends and our ward members, and Mother somehow managed to come up with a treat of some kind for all of our guests. Dad loved to eat, and Mother was a wonderful cook. While living in Douglas, Arizona, we fed the missionaries all the time. Mother served up her delicious missionary salad, which included carrots, pineapple, raisins, coconut, and missionary ice cream made with fresh bananas. Now Samoa. In legend, Samoa means where God kept his chickens. Sa means holy, and Moa means chickens. The Samoan mission had only been a mission for 5 years when Dad was called to serve there. He said that Samoa was quite primitive. He told us of being lost in the jungle and having to pray himself out. Being about 20 and not knowing the language and having his companion return home because of illness, he was left all alone. He was very afraid. He did a lot of praying and studying and felt like he was blessed with the gift of tongues. Dad never forgot the Samoan language as long as he lived. He often said, the Samoan people are a choice people, the pure blood of Israel. I think I learned the Samoan alphabet before I learned my ABCs. Dad taught us to love the Samoan music and their spoken language. A very important word in our family was the word please. He would encourage us if we forgot by saying, if you, and then we were to answer, please, or fa'amoli. Yes. I wanted you to say it. Say it again.
You did fa'amoli, and then it was a song, and you used to say fa'amoli.
Wonderful. Please, 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 in other words, is what she was saying. I brought my tape recorder because I want you to hear this next part from Aunt Marguerite. She said that Dad taught the family a Samoan boat song, and I think it would be fun for you to hear this.
The Samoan sister in the society lesson is pronounced Moana. Now let me sing for you a little song that your mother and I and the other children in the family learned as we grew up, and which we used to sing a lot, and which I'm going to sing. It's the Samoan boat song. It's a song that the men used to sing instead of having a cadence to which they listened as they were rowing together. They would sing this song, and Dad used to sing with us children. We'd go marching around pretending to have an oar in our hands as we would take each other by the waist, you know, with one hand and use the oar with the other. And this is the way it goes. You've probably heard it. Isa, sail away, piliuwe, fa'asawa, saw, aslia, ta'yofa. Of course, as they get out a little farther in the water and pick up a little speed, they'd go a little faster. So the next time around, it would be Isa, sail away, piliuwe, fa'asawa, saw, aslia, ta'yofa.
That bring back a memory or two? Yes. When Dad was on his second mission, he was called by the authorities to translate the Book of Mormon, which he did with the assistance of some of his missionaries. And when he returned to Utah, he helped get it published. Dad did not use a typewriter. All of his work was done longhand. Can you imagine? I guess that's why Dad was such a student of the Book of Mormon. After his third mission, he spent many happy, useful hours on a new hymn book. Dad was working in the presiding bishop's office when he received a call from President McKay. President Heber J. Grant was the prophet at the time and was away on business. President McKay asked Dad if he could step around the corner in his office for a few minutes. Dad didn't think anything about the request and was shocked when President McKay asked, after his arrival, how would you like to go back to Samoa? Dad's love affair with the Samoan people had never ended, and of course, his answer was yes. It had been over 30 years since he had served there, and now he would be returning. Then President McKay added, there's a ship leaving from San Francisco a week from today. We'd like you to be on it. And he was. Just a bit of fun trivia. Apparently, the first canned goods that ever went to Samoa was pea soup. Wouldn't be my favorite. Today, any canned meat in Samoa is called pea soupo. I want to tell you, I had a pea soupo experience in Hawaii. As she mentioned, we recently returned from serving in Hawaii, if I say it the Hawaiian way. And we served in a state that had a Tongan ward and a Marshallese branch and a Samoan ward and several other of the traditional wards. We became acquainted with some wonderful Samoan people. And one afternoon we went to the state center, and there was a group of our Samoan brothers outside grilling chickens. This chicken thing they love. Chickens all over the grills. And they invited us to come and have a piece of chicken. I really didn't want it, and I told them, no, thank you. But you do not tell Samoans no thank you. First of all, I didn't want it because it was barbecue chicken, the red, messy barbecue chicken. And second, because they eat with their fingers. And I knew that's what I would end up doing. And in a few minutes, I found myself on a rock outside enjoying their barbecue chicken and hospitality. As we were getting ready to leave, one of the good Samoan brothers started to follow us to the car, and I started to tell him about Grandpa Sears. He stopped for a minute and said, just a minute, I'll be right back. He went over to his car, took out a large box, and brought it over to us. Inside was some pea soupo, a whole case of pea soupo. I have to tell you, I didn't realize what a gift he was giving me. This was wahoo. It's a fish they catch there in the Samoan Islands. Aunt Marguerite said you can say in the Samoan Islands or on. Grandpa said it both ways, so it works. But this is the best tuna you'll ever eat in your life. And I especially appreciate it when I went to the store the next week and saw that it was $3.25 a can. But it's in Samoa. Our winner of our trivia question tonight is going to receive this. I brought some home. I just couldn't resist.
It is very good.
Yes, Heidi can vouch for it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to walk behind you.
This same darling brother, he served on the High Council in the state there in Waipahu, and we had attended a Samoan funeral, and we were sitting in the chapel, and he was up in the choir seats. He was singing a musical number, and he noticed we were there. And after he finished his musical number, he came down, sat right in between Elder Stutz and I, and translated the rest of the service. They are such good, genuine people. They see things we don't see, and they just love to be hospitable and help any way they can. Let's see what I say next. When Grandma Irvine was living in Ogden, she often stayed at our home when she came down to visit the family. And I shared my bedroom and my bed with her. And very often I'd go to bed when she did because I wanted to have that moment. I loved the wonderful stories she told. Now there weren't too many that I can remember, but one I remembered because she told me that story more than once. That's when Grandpa was in Samoa. His first mission, he admired a young sister with beautiful long black hair, clear past her waist. And he told her how beautiful it was. And the next time he saw her, her hair was cut about this short. And he was going to mention what's happened to your very attractive hair. And she handed him a brown paper bag. And he opened it up, and inside was her hair. Grandpa said that he had to be very careful with compliments, or he might be having all of those things that she admired. I don't remember a lot about what Grandma said and what we talked about, but I will never forget her deep love and respect for her eternal companion. The wonderful statements she always prefaced with, my will, and my will, and my will, and I did this. It was obvious their devotion and love was sincere. Early in our marriage, I was very discouraged about something. Now, my personality is not to get depressed or get discouraged very often. I just don't. But I was really down, and I was not figuring out how to solve my dilemma. And my good husband came in one night and he said, Karen, you will get through this. You come from good stars. That startled me. What he meant, I knew exactly what he meant. The wonderful service, the wonderful sacrifices, the wonderful examples of those that have gone before me and made it possible for me to enjoy the blessings that I have today. I am so thankful. We have such a heritage. Thank you.
Nola is up.
Can you hear me? I don't have a loudspeaker, but I have a built-in loudspeaker. And I can hear you really good too. My experience with Samoa was my grandfather. I've heard all my life about him going on a mission to Samoa. And my second date with my husband, we were discussing, you don't talk about Samoa the first date. But the second date we were discussing, and I said, well, my grandfather served a mission in Samoa. He says, no way. So did mine. In fact, my grandfather was the mission president. And I said, well, so was my grandfather the mission president. And so, in fact, this picture Suzanne has, are you going to pass this around? It has both of our grandfathers in it. Orlando Bears and my grandfather and my husband's father. Yeah, sure, Suzanne will show you. I really don't know where to start. Airlines, and you wonderful people, babysitters and everybody, collected your money and wanted to collect some money to help build the Samoan temple. That reunion was in 1978. And I'll never forget the enthusiasm. Some people were given pennies and little kids that had done babysitting. And we were delegated to take this money over to Samoa. We were in the Rainmaker Hotel, and Bill says, I don't know who we're going to give this money to. I don't know any people here. I said, that morning we prayed, and she said, well, we'll find somebody. Suzanne went with us. And Suzanne and I were still in bed. Bill gets up real early. He said he used to break the newspaper with his dad, so he was used to getting up early. I was always in bed after he was out. Anyway, he came running upstairs and he says, oh, you ladies, you better get dressed quick. Ralph Rogers is going to be here in about 5 minutes. He's the area president, so he's coming to get the check for the temple. And so in that book there, Suzanne has that book that we took pictures. It shows my husband handing the check that you wonderful people donated so that to help build the Samoan temple. And it was donated in the name of William G. Sears. And what's interesting, my grandfather and your father were missionary companions when they first were in the mission field. And they were waiting for another companion, so there was 3 of them. There was President Wood, who became the temple president of the Cardston, Alberta temple, and my father-in-law, Brother Sears, and my grandfather, Orlando Barras. They were companions, 3 of them, waiting for the other one. And they had a rule that if anyone complained about the food, then they had to do the cooking. And it was my grandfather's turn to cook, and he was getting so tired of it, because he was a pretty good cook. And so he decided this time he was going to burn the potatoes black. So he just burned them black. And your dad said, "Oh, Elder Barrett, you have really burnt these potatoes. But that's the way we like them." So he still didn't get off the hook. Now your grandfather, your father, and some of you translated the Samoan Book of Mormon into the Samoan language. And he had a special gift to do that. He would not have been able to do that. My grandfather was told by Brother Patriarch Woolley and also Heber J. Grant, who set him apart. He said, "You will be given the gift of the language." And he thought, well, it will be a gift after I learn it. That would be a wonderful gift to have, because they didn't have an MTC at that time. And so he went over there straight from Salt Lake City, and he couldn't understand a word they were saying. And for 6 weeks he went to the meetings, and he couldn't understand anything. And he was getting a little bit discouraged. He went to a fasting testimony meeting, and he said he had a real strong desire to stand up and bear his testimony, but he kind of argued with the Spirit because he thought, no one will understand a word I'm saying. But he said before he knew it, he was standing on his feet, and the first words that came out of his mouth, he quoted the scripture in Revelation where it says, "And I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel." And he said, and then he went on to tell the story about the prophet Joseph Smith, that there was a young boy in New York. This is Orlando Barrett. And he said he talked to them for 15 minutes, and it seemed to him that he was speaking in English. And when he sat down, Elder Van Cott, who was the presiding elder at that time, stood up and he said, "Elder Barris has just spoken to us in tongues. The same gift that was enjoyed on the day of Pentecost, when the Peter stood and arose and spoke to the multitude, and that was the same gift. And everybody that bore their testimony after that, my grandfather could understand it and hear it. And to tell you how it stayed with him all his life, I went to college up in Logan, and that's where I met my husband. I came home from school one day, and my grandfather was reading the Book of Mormon in Samoa that your father translated. And I said, "Grandpa, why don't you read this in English? You have a Book of Mormon in it." And he looked at me and he said, "My dear granddaughter, I don't think you understand." He said, "I had to learn the English language just like everyone else. And this was given to me as a gift from God." He said, "I can speak it, I can write it, and I understand every verb, every word, but I don't understand like that in the English language. I had to learn it like you did, like everybody." And from that day on, he was able to speak. Now to go back to the story of when we went to Samoa, ever since my daughter Suzanne was a little girl, she's heard about her grandpa Sears and her great-grandpa Orlando Barrett. And she said, "You know, Mama, when I grow up, I'm going to have a little girl, and I'm going to name her Misi Alisa. I really like that name." And my husband said, "Well, what if your husband doesn't like that name?" And she says, "Well, I won't marry him." And so when Rod asked Suzanne to marry, she said, "How do you like the name of Misi Alisa?" He said, "I don't know. Why? What does that have to do with anything?" And she said, "Well, that's the name of my first little girl. And here's our Misi Alisa." And she kept her promise. This is Misi Alisa. And now Misi Alisa is going to be 2 great-grandchildren. So time is going on. Anyway, I want you to see this and pass this around. These are all of the wonderful people. I have this money here. Samoa. And I think I'll give it 5 minutes. I'm sorry? was handed to him. And I don't remember it. It was several years ago. It was like almost 1,000 pages. But I don't remember. But Suzanne has, do you have the book? Do you remember how much? I don't remember. Oh, it might have been. I don't know. But it was, I'll tell you, every one of you, we were amazed that everybody was so, little children. That's what touched my heart when I saw all these kids. They're babysitting money. But what a great heritage we have, and I am so grateful for the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I don't want to leave here without letting every one of you know that I do have a testimony in the church, and I'm so grateful for Marvin in Moroni and the prophet Joseph Smith, because without them we would not have the Book of Mormon, we would not have anything that we have, and I'm grateful for all the prophets that have ever lived, and I'm especially grateful for President Gordon B. Hinckley. I know that he's a prophet of God, and I know that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, and I know that he was resurrected. I know that as well as I'm telling you, standing here talking to you. And I leave this with you in the name of Jesus Christ.
I know what you're going through. So go like this if you can't know. I'll just start with writing. The way that you got the money is that they had a quilt. That it was really diagnosed as surgery that was done. They grafted it on. And then with the money that they got from this quilt that they did, then we took, that was the major part, and we all went to Samoa together. We went to the islands together. That was really fun. There were about 16 of us. That's why 16. Yeah, we're 16. Misi Alisa, I was telling them, I thought you knew the name, what that means. Do you know what it means? Honored chief. Honored chief. When I have told my grandfather, my father, the missionary, his name is Alisa. And Misi.
Mom.
Alisa.
A little louder, a little louder.
I know. See, this is why Beverly was raising children. I know. Pour it out. Okay, I want you to know my dad. As I knew, I was way down in the family. I was a child. I was the one that got my mother's milk. And I had always felt that was special. My dad came in after Mother had this baby. It was dime center. In those days, we used to give a dime to the Sunday school, and that's how they operated. They got their manuals and all that stuff. So we had written the name of Athelia Sears on this little envelope. And it said, Grandmama, I think it's time we named a daughter after you. Isn't that neat? And so I contributed to the church when I was a few hours old. I have been ever since. Okay, that was what happened. My father. Okay, I didn't have a lot of. I did not have a lot of stories of little things that I did with him alone because I didn't have that. Can you hear me now? I didn't have that many opportunities. But when we moved down to Arizona, we came back up, and this is the reason why. We went down there, and it was the best house we had ever had, and the most money, and a good job, and all these things. But there were some girls that were got into some trouble because there weren't too many members of the church down there, and one of them and so Dad said, Dad, Mother, and I got together, and they always made a lot of decisions together. But I listen to them, I'll roar more, voice some more. And they said, it's not worth it to have girls maybe not marry in the temple, in the church. So they just gave up the job, and they came back up to Utah. birthday. We went on my birthday back to Utah, and I remember the train had to stop, and we bought me a little package of graham crackers. And I thought that was the greatest treat in the whole world. And we went into a little corner of California, so I felt I was a world pet. That was one of my rare moments with Dad. Other times, Dad was funny. But, you know, he's not like my dad. That's passing around at all. Because, no, my husband. My mother would always say, oh, be careful of Dad's stomach. Don't touch his stomach, don't touch his stomach. So we could I never ever saw my dad because we had to protect his stomach, and maybe some will tell you about that. But he used to do, he had to sit, my sister and me, he'd always do things for pennies. I'm a depression. And so Penny was very thin, and he was known throughout all of his relatives as the, uncle or his grandpa or whatever it was, just when he'd have races and things for a penny. And he'd always stand at the end like this and have a penny, and whoever wanted to get a penny. And you can't imagine the things he did for a penny. And one of the things that he did with my sister, just older than I was, he'd sit on his knees like this, his 2 knees like this, and he'd say, now, if you can just keep coming up at the same time, and do it for 20 times, I'll give you each a penny. And he'd hold on like this, and he'd get to about 18 or something. We didn't make it. We never made it. Never! It's like Wiley. Getting us into it. He was a fun grandpa, even if he couldn't be physically. Other times what he would do is, I said we didn't ever have a car. One of my memories that I have is he'd always have a pass, which was $1.25, and that was his transportation. And sometimes I would do what they call work the pass. And so I would go with him in the morning once in a while, and I would be free on the street, and then I'd bring the pass back. My mother would use it during the daytime, and then I would take it back so he could come to work and come back home at night. He worked for the presiding bishop's office and knew the general affairs very well. My brother Bill was born on President Grant's birthday on that day. That he was baptized. He took him in, and he named him William Grant. Oh, that's very important. Not very important. He was born on President Grant's birthday. When he was 8 years old, Dad took him in to imagine the president of the church, and he said, "This is my son that I named after you." Because he lived with his own. "This is my son I named after you," and he gave him a little present. So he was well known for general affairs. And I've come to appreciate that more and more as I've got older. The great respect that he had because he knew he was totally trustworthy. But some of the other fun things that we did, I wrote on this little paper. I told you about the pennies. He loved to swim. And I found a treasure mine today. I found some of the, if you want it, I had it and I didn't dare put it out. But it's the journal that he kept day by day. Isn't that neat? So if you want to tell me, but I didn't dare put it out there just in case. Okay. In 1895, and I got so fascinated reading it, that there was, they went swimming. You know, missionaries swimming and nearly drowned, and it was just sort of scary, hair-raising type of thing. But anyway, I thought that was so fun. He loves to go swimming. So he would, and you'll see a picture of him there with Mother and Dad and Eddie and a couple of kids. And they were swimming out at Samoa when there was still an ocean. And now it's okay. But he used to go to these, what they call the hot springs and the pools, on the streetcar and go swimming by himself, you know, because there was no no money for a lot of people to go. But he always loved to sleep, even though he couldn't do a lot of things with it. I did want to mention this. I wanted you to know that he was fun, even though there was no money, no car, and no help. But he still wanted it to be fun. And I want you to know that because I think that's important. Because most people think of him as an old man, and he was an old man when he came back from his mission. And I remember the conference. I was 14, I guess. And he came back, and he had a cane, went to the U, and he played baseball. Did any of you see the bookends? That's the other thing. I have no earrings. That's why I wore the shoes. These are from Samoa from my daddy, okay? So if you haven't seen him before, that's why I'm just in this suit, okay? So I can wear them. But he, this is another thing that I want you to know, and I'm going to show you. But I want you to know that in our home, I saw, and I grew up with, seeing families live together. I never, ever, put on a party. And it always everything suited them. And so this is one other thing I want to tell you. When we eat, they turn the chairs around, and so you can realize and rest your elbows while we said the family prayer. And that was carried on all of my life, kneeling down for prayers with the chairs turned down. And we had family home eating. Before that was started, that was before I was even born. But when it started again, we'd already been having little family home meetings ourselves. All my life. And then it was reintroduced back in the church when we were coming from. And so I wanted you to know that we grew up with family meeting, grew up praying, and it goes through agreeing on things, and we love each other. And we develop more patience and understanding and love. And so that's ending. You never hear that. You never hear a good thing about a previous marriage. It's I think that a lot of what I believe today is due a lot to that heritage that I have. And mom and dad and love that was sharing everything with me. And I real strong testimony of that as well as instilled in my heart in my family for the same. And if there are any questions you want to ask me after, I'll be happy. I'll just say too much anyway. Ask anything. Because this is something you need to know. Okay, I'm sorry. When Dad was 4 years old, he was the darling of his family. He was the oldest son. There had been one that had died before. And then he had all these adoring sisters that loved him. Okay, and his mother, and I don't know if she made this come up or not, because we were always told when he was 4 years old, they dressed him up in a darling little suit and took him down to Bennett Glass Sears Bennett Glass and stood him on the counter and he said, I'm 4 years old today, Papa, and almost a man. And I had the little verse that was written. And evidently, I don't know whether the mother wrote it or what, but these sisters used to write little poems. Every time they have a birthday, they adored him until the day he died. And they would make up some little poems about him and say them every day for his birthday, every year for his birthday. Sorry about that. I had that because that's what I was going to tell you. I'm not going to be here very long because it's all been said. But I was the tidy baby. That's what I remember. Dad always called me the tidy baby because I was the 10th. And he used to always say, we offered her to the bishop, but the bishop didn't want her, so we had to keep it. And I always knew that he was kidding, but that was his standard thing. My mother was 42 and Dad was 57 when I was born, so you guys know that there's a big difference. But I always felt like I was wrong. Not like, here she came and we didn't want any more children. I always felt like I had so much love for my parents and for my little brothers and sisters. And I appreciate that. I remember just having a lot of love for my dad. I remember skipping along and going to church together and having him. I remember one time I said I want a patriarchal blessing, and the next Sunday he'd already made arrangements. I was barely around, and he'd already done that. And any kind of scripture or any church question I had, my mother would always say, go ask Daddy. He could always explain things, and he was really, really good at that. I remember sitting on his lap and having him hug me. I think because I was the last, he really. I want a penny or something, he'd say, come and sit on my lap, and we'd talk, and hug me in and give me the penny. Even when I felt like I was too big to sit on his lap, but that was silly to do that. But I remember putting his hair in bobby pins and pin curls. And one time, he always wore a hat, and I remember one time he went to town with his hat and tipped his hat, and he had about 3 different pin curls. Mother didn't ever let me do that again. I can't read my notes. But anyway, when he left for his last mission, I was 4. When he came back, I was 6. So a lot of these Samoa things I remember having him talk on the telephone to somebody in Samoa, and thinking that was really fun to hear. But a lot of the Samoa things it happened before I was born. But I always felt like I was really wanted, and that there was really a lot of love and happiness in our home. I found these pictures because he was the only, had all these sisters, was the only boy for a while. I think maybe that's why he had his picture taken out. This is one when his 4-year-old birthday, and his when he was 15 years old. And this is on his 20th birthday, these two, and this is how he looked when he went on his mission. I have these. I don't know if I have enough for everybody, but anyway, they should be about 10 cents a sheet, so about 20 cents if you want that, and I'll just put them on this table with a little cup, and if you want these, you're welcome to it. But anyway, I am happy to be with all of you tonight, and I want you to know how much I love my dad and my mother, and how like I said, they always made me feel like I was really special, and not just because they made me feel that way, but also my older brothers and sisters. I'm very grateful to be part of the family, and I want you to know that it's been wonderful to be with all of you tonight, and I do thank Holly and all those who worked so hard, and Tracy and Sue who did the rest of the family. Just, it's been great to be with you. Love you much, and say this in Jesus' name.
I, of course, never met Grandpa Sears, and many of you haven't either, and so it's fun to hear from, I don't mean this to be rude, but the older generation. The older generation. And you're proud of that, right? How old were you, Lou? Lou was 13 when he died. So, yeah, he died when a lot of us didn't have a chance to meet him. But I have had a chance. Oh, yes, Nola.
I just want to say one more thing. When I was dating Bill, he told his dad that he was dating Orlando Barris' granddaughter. And he said, oh, keep dating her. But, I never got to meet him. He died. And Salt Lake was quite a ways from Logan, I guess, in those days. But I do want to say this. I am so grateful that I married such a wonderful man, and I'm so grateful for his family. And I love every one of his brothers and sisters just like they were my own, and all the nieces and nephews here. A wonderful family. You know, you don't just marry your spouse, you marry the family. So you young people that are looking around for a companion, be sure you check the family out before you say yes.
Good for some of us to keep in mind that are still in that phase. I just want to take 1 second to say thank you to Trace and Susan Tanner. They've worked for 4 years. We appreciate them a lot. And I appreciate Bobby for giving me all of the email addresses that she gave me, and then to all of you for passing the message along. So I appreciate that. We have someone from a representative from every one of Grandpa Sears' children, with the exception of Agnes. So I think that's pretty good. I think that's really good. And thanks to Bobby as well for making the copies, and Suzanne and Rodney Mann for working on the video. We appreciate that so much. So let's clap. And I appreciate you guys. A lot of you offered to help, and I appreciate that a lot too. Okay, we have just a couple more things, and it's getting dark, so it's kind of got the pretty moon, but this was the perfect day to do this, so it's just wonderful. What I'm going to do is I've prepared a few video clips. I was just mentioning that, you know, I am so young, I never got to meet Grandpa Sears, but I know of people who have met him, and so I was able to prepare a few video clips of these people. And so I want to share that with you. And my dad, I don't know where he is, he's eating finally. My dad's been working on this since 5:30, so I appreciate that. We had a few things to work on, and I appreciate him doing that a lot. The only thing is we don't have, I hope you can hear it, but we're going to include these on the video, so if you're going to purchase the video, you'll have that. So I'm going to do that, but really quickly, take out your trivia game, because you can't see it. That's okay. I'll just tell you. I'll just read the answers. Okay. I need, okay, the first, does anyone want one before we start? The winner gets the Wahoo. You're like, wow. No, it's good. Stop. So, someone's running to get some things. But is it okay if we just go ahead and start? Sure. Okay, what's the full name of Grandpa Sears? William Gailey Sears. William Gailey Sears. How about number 2? Where and when was he born? February 17th, 1873 in Salt Lake City. You guys are good. Okay, how about number 3? What's the answer to 3?
More than 12.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I don't have it either. What's the question? Oh, how much did he weigh when he was born? It was either A, less than 6 pounds, B, about 8 pounds, or C, more than 12 pounds, and it's C. Yeah, you knew that. Oh, good guess. Yeah, there's a story where I guess it's in the biography that Grandma Sears wrote. It was one of the first couple paragraphs. When he was born, the neighbor made a really nice linen shirt for him, and then when he was born, they couldn't even fit it over his head. So it was a big disappointment. But yes, he was a big boy. So the answer is C, more than 12 pounds. Number 4, where did Grandpa Sears go to college? University of Utah. And back then it was called the University of Deseret. So either one of those works. Okay, how about 5? Which sport did Grandpa Sears play in college? Baseball. You should all know that now. And he was actually on the first team, right? Did you learn that? And then, this is extra credit. What position did he play? Shortstop. How'd you guys know? You guys are so good. Okay, good job. Okay, number 6. How did Grandpa Sears meet Aunt Aggie? Yes, Lou is right. Through Samoa. Elder and Sister Hilton served missions in Samoa with Grandpa Sears. When Grandpa Sears was getting ready to go home, Elder Hilton said, "Hey, I have a sister-in-law here. You should look her up when you get home." And that was Aunt Aggie. So that's how they met. Where did Grandpa? Yeah. Did you hear that? He was home less than 3 years when he was called back as mission president again. 26. That's a young age, isn't it? Okay, and then where did Grandpa Sears meet Grandma Sears?
At a dance.
Yeah,
She was the May Queen.
Mexico. She was the Queen of May,
Queen
right?
of May.
Cinco de Mayo. Great. Okay. Number 8. Now I'm having a hard time reading. How many years older was Grandpa Sears than Grandma Sears? 15 years older. How long did Grandpa and Grandma Sears date before they got married? 2 years. Yeah. She was only 16 when they met, so that was nice that they waited 2 years.
I know.
Before they actually get married. Okay, he and Aunt Aggie talked about it. They picked her up together. So, yeah, so she married young. That doesn't work. It didn't run in the family for all of the posterity. Some of us are still working on that. Okay, how many missions did Grandpa Sears serve in Samoa? 3, and he was mission president twice, right? Okay, number 11. Before leaving on his first mission to Samoa, Grandpa Sears was told in his patriarchal blessing that he would do an outstanding work. What is one thing he did on his missions to Samoa that merited this?
Translated the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, he translated the Book of Mormon, and also he, that's a big one. But also, yes, the gift of tongues. Very good. And that's in the biography as well, you can read. Okay, what was Grandpa Sears' Samoan name? Misi is missionary, so Alisa. How many people have the name Alisa in their name here? I have a sister, my oldest sister, and then we have Uncle Joe. His middle name is Alisa. How many people have a Sears name somewhere in their name? Okay, all the Sears with the last name. We've got several. Awesome. Okay, good. So he was very respected, wasn't he? So we had about 3 or 4 or 5 raise their hand on that one. Okay, what does his Samoan name mean?
I'm still here.
Oh, thanks.
I haven't left the spout yet.
Honored Chief,
Yeah.
good guess. What is it?
Honored Chief.
Oh, I gotta look at my answer.
Truthful one.
One who, good guess, but no. It's one who is loved. It's actually, I asked a gentleman I have on here about his name, and, technically what they would do is they would find a name that was similar to their English name, and they would call them that, then they would maybe assign a meaning. So some Samoans, if you were to say, what does Alisa mean, they might say, I don't know, because they don't know what the meaning was at the time it was given to them. So don't go asking Samoans what Alisa means, because they may not know, so I don't want you to be disappointed if you hear that. What was one of Grandpa Sears' mottos?
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier. I used that in an email, so it's for real, right? I wasn't joking about that. Don't what? What was it?
You shouldn't say, oh, I love those parrots or something. You don't love anything that
Oh,
won't love
you
back.
don't love anything that won't love you back. Okay, good one. Good to keep in mind. Okay, how old was Grandpa Sears when he died? 70. 70 and 3 weeks, Aunt Lou asked. Very good. Which general authority spoke at Grandpa Sears' funeral?
Harold B. Lee.
Harold B. Lee. That's in his remarks are in the funeral services if you've bought a copy of that. So great doctrine in there. He also had a companion speaking at his funeral, and there are great stories about his mission and great references to his mission. Okay, good. How'd we do so far? Pretty good? How many of you got 100%? Oh, did you, Lou?
I think Lou's winning.
Okay. How many got 16 right? How about 15, 14, 13, 12, this is for Wahoo, 11? Okay, I think we have a winner. Athelia Graham won the Wahoo.
Oh, my.
This is good stuff, by the way. This is just for fun, but on the back, let's go through this really quick. These are some Samoan words that Grandpa Sears actually put together in one of his journals. So, number 1 is new, and anyone know what that is? It's G, a young coconut. 2 is pate. That is, I've got to look at my right hand. I'm looking at someone else's wrong answer. N. Okay, and there's a pate over there that I got in some other.
A small wooden.
This is a pate. Right. 1 is G, 2 is N, 3 is J, 4 is M, 5 is B, H, 7 is D, 8 is F, 9 is K, 10 is C, 11 is E, 12 is A, 13 is I, and 14 is L. How'd you guys do? Those were just wild guesses, right?
Zero.
That's kind of fun. Okay, hold on to your paper because at the end of the video there's a song Tofa Mai Fileni, and my sister Susie's going to help me. We're going to play the song on the guitar, and you're going to all sing along, but this is the farewell song. This is what they sing whenever they say goodbye to someone. And I know, not yet. Oh, okay, I've been to Samoa a couple times, and this will lead into the video, and we're going to start the video really soon. Someone went to go get speakers for us too, so that's helpful, but we'll go ahead and start even if we don't have them. I went to Samoa the first time in 2005. I really wanted to go to Samoa because I had felt a connection. I'd been to BYU Hawaii for a semester, got to know the Polynesian culture a little bit, loved it, and then also knew that I had this heritage with Samoa, with Grandpa Sears, having been a missionary there 3 times. So I looked for opportunities to go there, and I tried to get in touch with CES. I was working at BYU at the time, had spring term off, so I wanted to use my time to go to Samoa and do some volunteer teaching, because I teach English as a second language, do some things with that. So I knew there could potentially be an opportunity to do some service there. So I tried to get in touch with CES, got in touch with the country director in Samoa. He said, yes, we do need your help. That would be great if you came. I emailed him back a few questions, never heard back from him. I thought, well, that's interesting. In the meantime, I had a friend who had a connection in American Samoa, so I got in touch with a school there where the University of Hawaii offers some classes for these elementary school teachers that have associate's degrees that they earn at the community college there in American Samoa. But the University of Hawaii has these teachers come and take night classes, and they award them a bachelor's degree. So I went over there instead and helped them with their English in teaching an applied writing class, grammar and writing. And anyway, I was on my way over there. A couple days before heading over there, I got an email from the woman at the University of Hawaii who I had been in touch with. She said, you won't believe this, and I was actually going to be staying in her home. She said, you won't believe this, but I just talked to my mother-in-law, and I told her that you were coming, and I told her that your grandfather was William G. Sears, and she said that your grandfather wanted to adopt her when she was 10 years old in Western Samoa in the 30s. And she just said, I have goosebumps just typing this to you on this email. And I was able to go, and I stayed again. Like I said, I was on my way to stay at this home with Haleck, so I got to know Grandma Haleck. I call her Grandma Haleck. I have a video clip I'm going to show you in a minute of her talking about this experience. And she's quite old. She's in her 80s, and so it's great that we're able to get her on video. I just wanted to follow up, though. I did get in touch with this gentleman at CES, and it's interesting because he said he never got my email back, and he said that he emailed me and I didn't get this back. So it was just kind of it gave me the sense that I was definitely supposed to go to American Samoa and get to know Grandma Haleck. And while I was there, I was all by myself. Usually when I travel, I go with other people. But I was doing all by myself. So I was a little bit nervous, but I'd done enough traveling that I wasn't too nervous, but just a little bit, a little uncomfortable. But as I was on the plane over there, I just felt this peace there. And I felt a peace the whole time I was there, and it was just interesting because there are times when I thought, I wonder if Grandpa Sears is, around. And as I got on the plane to go home, the second that the plane took off, left the ground, there was a feeling that kind of left me. And I felt very strongly that feeling of comfort that I'd had throughout my stay in American Samoa was, in fact, Grandpa Sears' influence. So I just want you to know that I know that Grandpa Sears knows us, and I know he loves us, and I know that us being here talking about him is pleasing to him. I know that if he could tell us, he'd share his love for us. And so now what I want to do, and by the way, this dress I'm wearing is called a pule tasi, and it's a Samoan dress. It's native to the culture, and Grandma Haleck had this made for me, and so I decided I better wear it because I don't generally wear it in public because, it's pretty and all, but people wouldn't know why I was think I was wanted or whatever. But anyway, I am going to show you this video clip the first video clip I'm going to show you is Foto Aiona.
Sears family. My name is Foto Aiona. I was blessed by William Sears when he was serving in Samoa as a mission president in 1935. My father was a branch president at the time, so I was born and raised in the church. I am dying to see a picture of my mother because we never have a picture of her, and now we hope someday we'll be able to find a picture of her, especially during the time when President Sears was in Samoa back in 1935. I haven't met President Sears, but I'm sure he was a good man when he was a mission president. I hope someday I'll be able to see him. In our culture, usually when they have missionaries or mission presidents, or they usually ask them to bless their children or ordain them in the priesthood. It's an honor to have the missionaries or mission president to do that for the members of the church in Samoa.
And your dad was a branch president at the time?
My parents were branch presidents at Athelia branch, which is the village right next to the airport in Faleolo.
And why did your father choose to have President Sears bless you?
I have no idea. I didn't hear. This is my birth certificate when I was born on March 11, 1935. And I was blessed by President William G. Sears on April 21st, 1935.
Let's just look at it.
Hi, I'm Claire Aiona, the other portion of Mr. Mataula Foto Aiona. And
how long did it take you to learn how to say that name?
Not very long.
Good.
A mouthful.
That's right. Say it one more time. How do you say it?
Mataula Foto.
Wow.
I don't know.
Awesome.
Tonight I learned from Heidi that William Sears' Samoan name was Alisa, and most of the Samoan people named their children after missionaries' name. So Alisa is a very kind of popular name for Samoan people that name their children after the name Alisa, which I learned tonight that was the Samoan name of President William G.
And what's
Sears.
the meaning of Alisa?
And there's several other missionaries that, other families that they named their children after other missionaries. For example, like Samson, and Stone, lots of people that served mission in Samoa.
So you've met people with the name Alisa, but you never knew that name was
I did
Grandpa
not know
Sears.
That was Grandpa Sears' Samoan name. Some of the greeting words in the Samoan language, for example, is talofa, means hello or welcome, and thank you very much means whaapetai lava, and tofasoifua means goodbye, or pardon me, tulo, or excuse me, tulo.
And what's the difference between talofa and talofalava?
It just depends on how you say it and who you say it to. It seems like you show Well, especially to older people. You say, when an older person said to you, hello, you say, talo falava. Yeah, it's more, shows your respect for the older person. Mm-hmm.
So we should always say talo falava to people who are older than us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you ever say it to someone who's younger than you?
Well, you can say that. It depends on the rank of the person.
Ah. So it's out of respect. The lava is out of respect.
It's a way of showing your respect for the person. I guess it doesn't matter, but you usually don't say talo falava to young kids.
Ah, okay.
Just to older people or people with higher ranks, then you say that.
Oh yeah, count for us. Clara, you know how to do this too, huh?
Yeah.
You've learned a lot.
No.
You can both do it together.
It's funny. She learned the language, but I don't think she ever remember anything.
Confessions.
Some of the Samoan words, I'll say 1 to 10 in Samoa. Tasi, Lua, Tolu, Fa, Lima, Ono, Fitu, Walu, Iva, Sefulu means 10. Yeah.
Awesome. Can you do it backwards?
Sefulu, Iva, Walu, Fitu, Ono, Lima, Fa, Tolu, Lua, Tasi.
Wow. He's for real, everybody. He really knows Samoa and he can count to 10 backwards. That's awesome. Can you say a few sentences for us in Samoan so we can kind of hear the language a little bit?
Talo falava Sears family. Yeah, whaftai lava mo nei amanoa. Ua maua e whelo e mautou. Yeah. Ma e mau peana whapea e mawhai ona ma awai. Yeah, pizza iane. Ono lo mamalanga i Hawaii mole. Whai pui ponga se tasi o lo mato ainga. Ia ole ala leu ma le awai. Ai whaftai mo le nea manoa matango fie. Tau ina ia manuia. The family reunion. Ia to whaso I fua.
Clara will translate now.
Oh no.
What
I'm lost.
What I said is that I'm grateful for the opportunity to be in the Sears family reunion. Unfortunately, that we have to go to Hawaii to my nephew's daughter's wedding, but wish you luck during your family reunion. Tofa Seifua.
And we should all know what Tofa Seifua means now, right? Wonderful. Well, Whaewhetai Te Lava, Fotu and Clara. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much to my nephews.
Okay, tell us who you are.
I am Dorothy Aching Haleck, and we're so happy to have Heidi here with us, remembering the old days when President Sears was the president of the mission in Western Samoa. Yeah, I think Heidi will tell the story if she comes back.
Good.
Yeah.
And just say his Samoan name.
My Samoan name, as they used to call me, is Kolopi. I don't know where this Kolopi comes from. Maybe it's the pronunciation of my English name, Dorothy. Yes.
Nice.
So I have lived in Western Samoa for about 16 years.
Wow.
And when my grandmother passed away, she was the one who was raising me and taking good care of me. Then I have to move to American Samoa to live with my real mother. That's how I made my family here in American Samoa.
And tell us the Samoan name of President Sears.
President Sears' Samoan name is Misi Alisa. And his wife, we call her Misi Alisa. Those names are their Samoan names when they were here in Western Samoa.
That's great. And how did you know President Sears?
President Sears was the president mission, and that's the place that we go to church every Sunday. It's not too far from my home. And Sister Failoi, she is a quiet lady. She didn't have children. Maybe that's why they wanted to adopt me. I would have been a Sears if I had gone along with them to Utah.
You would have been my Samoan auntie. I would have loved it, but then again, I'm so glad that you stayed here because you're wonderful posterity. And everything you've done to contribute to American Samoa here. So it all works out how it's supposed to, right? Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I love you all.
Oh, thank
We're gonna
you.
Miss Heidi. She's a Samoan family of ours.
I'll have to be back. Maybe next month.
Okay. I'm happy to see you back.
Tufa soifua.
Tufa.
Talofa from American Samoa. I am here with my new grandma, my new Samoan grandma. I call her grandma. This is Grandma Haleck, and she knew great Grandpa Sears, William Sears. When she was a little girl, he and Aunt Aggie, when they were on their third mission, when William Sears was on his third mission here, went to the Fale, where Grandma lived with her grandmother, and asked if they could adopt her. And her grandmother said, "Oh no, she's all that I have," right? And so you can't take her. And then they came back a second time, right? And asked, and then a third time again. And your grandma kept saying no. And even though Great Grandpa Sears and Aunt Aggie would say, "Oh no, she'll come back to Samoa after she gets educated. We'll bring her back." And your grandma said no, because
yes,
you needed
even
to
though
stay.
we were poor, but
she
liked me to stay with her.
That's right. So isn't that a great story? And I'm so excited I get to meet her. And I have adopted her as my new grandma.
Samoan grandma.
My Samoan grandma. So that's who I wanted to introduce you to. My flower's coming out. Goodbye. You can push that.
What else?
Fa soy fua.
Press this again?
Yep.
I'm ready.
Okay, tell us who you are and whatever you'd like to say.
Farnsworth, and my mother was Iris Call. I went to Brigham Young University, and I think it was 1934. And Viola and I were roommates there for a few months, and then I married and moved out. But when I wanted to go we needed to go to the temple, and none of our family could come up there because there was a depression, and so Athelia said not to worry, she'd take me through, so I went up and stayed overnight with her. And the next morning we went to the temple, and I was frightened. You know, I hadn't ever been to a temple, and we didn't have temples around here at that time, you know. I was kind of worried. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. But you know, all the Sears used to take us on picnics. It's up where the avenues are now, but at that time it was just all forest. And we would hike up there with the backpacks on our back. And then when we got up there, he'd make a fire, and we called them on angels on horseback, so they call them Moors now. You know.
Thank you.